What is up, my little Danos? Vepsisi, your coach of the Helsinki Triggers, and we are here for the PPL Season 2 Week 1 battle when I go up against Necrostevo. And now we're gonna be going through first part of the video very briefly, my team of 6, and how it's gonna be very unique and different compared to what you've seen from me in the past generations, how I like to play in my draft league games, because for Generation 9 things are way stronger and it's way more offensive. And this old dog has to start learning new tricks and adjust to this meta game, and I'm trying my best here, and with the support of a good friend of mine, Addison, as well, going into this week versus Necrostevo, who has a very tough roster for me personally to handle, because he has a very good answers for Iron Valiant defensively and offensively. Considering he has a Clefable, Gallows Looking, and Venusaur Undersun, which can all deal with it very well. And from there, Walking Wake and Venusaur in general are very tough for me to handle. And even Crocodile, Terrakion, and all those other guys, like, he has a lot of threats for me to have to worry about, plus getting through his defenses. So it's not an easy week for me to start out with, to try to get off my rustiness from Wi-Fi scene, or in general taking like Pokemon a little bit more seriously, I guess. Because Gen 9 wise, I haven't been as up to the game per se as I was in the previous generations, because I've been trying to take a little bit of break from draft league scene, but I'm excited to be back and try to see what I can do in this generation. And before we jump into team of 6 that I'm bringing, we're gonna be covering very briefly the Terra captains, just so you guys are at least a little bit aware of with those, because I don't have like a fancy layout for this stuff for this season. I'm kind of keep it very simple for myself and for you audience when it comes to that stuff. So when it comes to my own Terra captains, I had, as a reminder from draft analysis, I have a Terra Noivern with the Flying, Normal, and Fairy as the potential typings. And then I have Retsias with Terra Ice, Water, and Steel. Whereas my opponent Necrostevo, he can bring from his side a Terra Electric, Ice, and Fire Substrika, Terra Flying, Fighting, and Crash Doggio, and the last one is Earthworm with Terra Steel, Ghost, and Fairy respectively. So that's the Terra captains out of the way, and now let's see in the team builder portion that how I was able to assemble this team with a little bit of help from Madison's side. Like, I would say 80% the team is done by myself, and then there were a couple of things including the Gengar's item and the last move that I specifically asked Addison's guidance a little bit on this, because she is at least a little bit more familiar with Generation. I know she hasn't played it all too much herself, but at least she took part of last season in PPL, and I can trust her help and experience in that regard to get myself a little bit more familiar and get myself going, you know here. So we are gonna be going with the Gengar with the Castaberry Endure, which is here to provide me a form of priority once I'm under 25% of health, versus the Sun Sweepers like Venusaur and the Walking Wake, if they are in a range of my Sludge Bomb, or, well, Sludge Bomb particularly, what I'm hitting both of them with the hardest, or getting them weakened to my Choice Scarfer in Noivern, which ideally should be outpacing both of them. I'll talk about that once we get there, that what scenario I might not be able to outpace Venusaur, but hopefully it doesn't come down to that. But other than that, the Custap Endure can be also nice for a potential Choice Scarfer like Crocodile or Terrakion that could also be Choice Scarf. And by having Endure, it enables me to outpace them and hit them with a big energy ball, if not killing them, depending on what health they are at. So that is going to be the Gengar. It's also a mon that by Stool Stab plus Energy Ball, he doesn't really have a resistance to, which in a matchup like this was very important for me to intensify and say that, you know what, this is a bad matchup, but Gengar definitely does have a good matchup out of everybody else that I'm able to bring this week, so I had to bring it one way or another. Then we have a booster energy Iron Valiant with Aura Sphere, Moonblast, Shadow Ball, and Destiny Bond. I was playing around with a physical set for the longest of time, but I decided to change it specifically in a scenario if there's a Gallows Looking Titan Core, and which means that Titan will get +1 defense out of the snow, being an ice type itself. And in that kind of scenario, Aura Sphere actually does more than Close Combat would have done for my Iron Valiant. And it also makes sure that I don't lower my defense, which I guess can come into a play. And I then also have a stronger way to hit Gallows Looking, which I've seen mostly being a physical defensive with Colbo Berry most likely on it in the mocks that I've been able to get a few of to kind of getting some practice in it before going to this game. So in that kind of scenario, Shadow Ball has been doing more than Knockoff has. So it's nice to mix it up in that way and try to see if I can do more damage and get more value out of. And then I have Destiny Bond in a form of way to eliminating like a Galas Slowking or Clefable out of the way. Cause those kind of mons can be a little bit of irritating, especially Galas Slowking for my Choice Scarf Noivern, which we might as well talk about next, cause it's gonna be my main form of winning condition and the best speed control that I can bring for this matchup versus a Sun team. We are max speed timid with Choice Scarf. At worst, I'm forcing a speed tie with the Venusaur, and I should live one timid Sludge Bomb after Stealth Rocks with my Noivern, even if I had to take the damage as a flying type coming in. So even in that scenario, I should live the hit, and ideally I kill it back with a Flamethrower. Then I have Draco Meteor for the Walking Wake, and then I have Terra Normal Boom Burst as a general strong stab to spam ideally in this matchup. The only thing that can kind of put a stoppage to this is like very healthy Galas Slowking, which could be maybe especially defensive, but ideally it won't be. But also Earthworm that can naturally, by being a Steel type, resist it, or turning into a Terra Ghost, it can be immune to it. But for the Earthworm, I do have intentions to attempt to weaken it down or force it out for my opponent's side with my Iron Threats and especially with my Haxorus ideally. And leave it to the point that Noivern is freed up to do its thing and doesn't have to worry about a healthy Earthworm in the late game. So that's hopeful that we can provide that for Noivern, that we get rid of the Earthworm. Iron Threats per se cannot do it by himself, even if it's Terra Ghost or remains as the Steel type, because even with Body Presses we won't do too much to a physical defensive variant. But Iron Threats is here just to providing me Stealth Rock support. We are outpacing max speed Crocodile, cause my opponent being Necrostevo, he actually does his effort of breeding all of his Pokemon for this season as far as I'm aware. So keeping that in mind, and the fact that he's still recovering from COVID, which hopefully by now he's been able to get healthy from for his own sake. All those things combined made me think that I have to just cover my bases and go max speed, and covering all the Pokemon as they were max speed, and nothing about aggressive speed creeping, which sometimes you would see from Draft League coaches this season to be doing, or something that you do yourself if you're a Draft League player yourself. But for this week I cannot really afford to do that, considering my opponent and the time limitations he might have when it comes to making his Pokemon are ready to go. But outside of that, we have Earthquake as a general stat that he doesn't really swap into too well. On his roster, his only immunities are Earthworm with its ability, and Dodrio being his only flying type and off the ground otherwise. Then we have Body Presses, which is very strong way of getting some damage on things like Crocodile that could be a swapping to as well, or the Earthworm before it's terrorized to a different type. Then we have Knockoff, just an all-around like utility move. You know what Knockoff does. It's a very strong move, probably the best move in the game still to this day. And then Stealth Rocks there to provide entry hazard damage that I will need chip damage. Even that 12% will come in handy versus some of his offensive guys. And especially Torkoal, if it's Heat Rock over Heavy Duty Boots, it's massive to get that 25% of that guy and eliminating its turns that it can stay in while I have the Stealth Rock still up. And then the fifth member of the team, but going to be the dedicated lead, is going to be my Loaded Dice Haxorus, which is going to be like a immediate pressure to my opponent that I'm able to provide right away, ideally. That can provide a lot of needed damage for things like either the Crocodile, if it's gonna be a lead scenario, either versus the Earthworm, which ideally I can like force a lot of damage or even killing it with Haxorus and get more mileage out of. I can force a lot of damage on the Clefable with the Iron Head that can do a massive damage to it, and with Maw-Breaker even Unaware will not be in effect. Unless it's like ability shield item from his behalf. So Haxorus will be providing a lot of early game pressure for my end to my opponent and do a lot of damage to the point that things like Gengar, Iron Valiant and Noivern are more freed up. And then after the Haxorus has gone down, depending on what's in front of me, I would like to be able to go to Iron Threats next in this battle and get up those Stealth Rocks, provide the chip damage, remove items, and then we proceed from there. That's kind of how I vision this game to be played out for my behalf, and hopefully I can execute it well. And the final member of the team is gonna be the only like dedicated quote-unquote wall that I have, but it has no recovery move on itself, because we are running Assault Vest the Axis defense. I know, this is like a 14-point warp effect that I'm running this week, but that's how pressuring I am to deal with things like Venusaur and Walking Wake, that if I don't have a Assault Vest on, even on a Deaxis defense, those things with Life Orb or Choice Specs respectively on Walking Wake specifically, they will just two-shot this guy even still and all my other members on my team. Like, the only thing that I could have tried to make work here over would have been Red Sea Ice. But Red Sea Ice had a very tough time to have its 4 move set that I liked versus the other guys. Whereas the Axis defense gets still good moves that I can run on Assault Vest. So like, Psychic Noise as a noob Psychic type move is really nice, because with that then I can eliminate any kind of healing from my opponent if they are affected by it, outside of Crocodile, which is immune to this. Then I have counter to hit the Crocodile when it's hitting me with a knockoff or Earthquake if I'm willing to take that hit to exchange damage with it. Then I have Mirror Coat to hit the Venusaur and Walking Wake, which especially if I'm healthy enough and Venusaur has gone for like growth, which gives it +2 attack and speed. If I can call that right to be like a special set, which I think it's gonna be versus me, then I can pop off with a Mirror Coat in itself or what have you. And especially with Assault Vest, it gives me the security of thinking that do I go for the Mirror Coat or counter, depending on if I've seen any attacking moves out of it, or do I go for the Psychic Noise for guaranteed chip and then proceed from them myself. And then I have knockouts just like for Iron Threads, just an all around good utility move to remove some items out of his side. And the Axis defense, I don't expect it to last throughout this battle, but the early mid game what I need a pivoting way around the Walking Wake and Venusaur, I'll have at least this in the back to rely on. And other than that, the team is very offensive and pretty straightforward on what I'm trying to do. We are basically trying this week to win with our Choice Scout Neuron, and everybody else is hopefully providing their support to put everything in place for that to happen. So that's gonna be the team, and now let's go see how this battle is gonna be turning out. Alright, we are here with the battle, and since it's week 1 I figured that, you know what, since I'm Finnish and it's very cold out here where I live, this time of year of course, I have my Ushanka hat on. And then we are cracking a cold one as well, a long drink. If you're underage, don't do this at home, of course. But we are playing Necrostevo today. I'm nervous, which is probably why I'm gonna have a long drink, so I can relax a little bit. But it should be a very fun game. For my behalf, I'm bringing a very offensive team, because the matchup is kind of forced me into that. And what I've heard from Generation 9, Wi-Fi scene wise, how people tend to play and find the most success with right now. That's pretty much like how you should be playing right now. The way that I used to like to play, like balance and sometimes a reactional play, finding my responses for everything and whatnot. That doesn't necessarily work as too often in Generation 9, and I have noticed it too a little bit when I played casually some showdown leagues here and there in Generation 9. I haven't really taken it too seriously this generation, but this season should be quote-unquote serious for my behalf. It's mostly just me try to lower my own expectations a little bit, just to make sure that hey, I'm still kind of rusty, I'm washed, I haven't played Wi-Fi for so long, and not too much regardless. And we're just gonna try to get getting hang of this, I guess, and try to have fun with this season. That's most important. I do want to make the playoffs, and I really like my team for week 1. I have to make sure that I stay with the mindset what I come into this game, starting with my lead being the Haxorus and whatnot. But before anything else, let me write down his team and pick my lead properly as well. So he brought Venusaur, Galas, Slowking, Walking Wake, Crocodile, Venusaur. The only Terra Captain that he brought is the Earthworm. There's no Clefable either. There's Crocodile, Earthworm, and Torkoal. Okay. So the game plan is to be, let me just say good luck, have fun. Good luck and have fun. Okay, so Necrostevo, somebody who has been around the block for a while just like me, but we never actually got to play each other, so I'm excited for that at very least. But I'm jumping into this matchup in mind of leading with Haxorus, which is the loading dice item with Skull Shot, and I have Sword Dance, EQ and Iron Head. And the goal is to break and wear down his team as much as possible, put him in a more of a reactionary situation ideally, and force some damage on Earthworm for example, or Crocodile, whatnot, depending on what he leads of course. And it's the Crocodile, okay, this might be Intimidate. My Mawbreaker does go first, if he has Intimidate, which he does, so it means that it's not Choice Scarf. So here I will go for a Sword Dance and then I can start breaking. There is no Clefable, so I know turn 2 Skull Shot should be free. So I'll click Sword Dance to see what this Crocodile will do. Let me put Crocodile Red here on my cogs just to see that if he goes for attacking move, I know what kind of damage it should be doing to me. As we go for the Sword Dance, we will be at +1 versus this. As he goes for knockoff, which did decent amount of damage. So now that we are +1, Skull Shot has a very good chance of killing it if I get 4 hits. So we go just for that and get damage on this Crocodile. I was at 145 HP just now, so it doesn't look to be offensive per se. If he chooses to swap, it would be the Earthworm. And as long as it's not Ability Shield, I can follow it up with an Earthquake. He does stay in, as I missed the hit. Okay. It's not okay, because I don't get anything out of this exchange, so it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's really bad. But I guess what can one do in this situation, I guess. That's the risk that I decided to take with the running Skull Shot, and the first attacking move I go this season is gonna be a miss. Not the ideal situation, but now I will go for Stealth Rocks. It's kind of fortunate that my dedicated lead that meant to break stuff, it just misses attack right away. I wonder what his response would be to this. I mean, it's probably gonna be Earthworm or anything, but I raised my defense and he might think I'm clicking Body Press here. He does withdraw. We're probably gonna see the Earthworm, right? Cloud Watcher. Yeah, that's the Earthworm. But I do get up my Stealth Rocks. I will go Body Press first, I think. I could also go for Knockout just to remove its item and make sure that I'm getting something out of the turn. Yeah, I'll go for Knockoff first. Let's see if it Terralizes. Because if it's Terra Ghost, then I at least get something out of the turn. I do have to, yeah, because this could be Terra Ghost. So I'll go for Knockoff first, I'll eliminate potential leftovers, which is a big deal. As I do. Red card. Ah, that's... Oh, right, because I knock it off, I get rid of it, cool. Okay, so he got his Stealth Rocks up. And he had red card on it. So actually, that was the perfect scenario for me. So now I can go for Body Press and hopefully he doesn't Terrorize this turn. The worst case scenario would be that he has dual hazards on this. As I do go for the Body Press, which does a decent amount. As he goes for Iron Defense. So your Body Press then as well. I will think. Do I go to you on the Body Press? I think so, right? Because he might also Terrorize this to make himself immune to Body Press. I don't see him clicking at least Earthquake on this. I don't see Iron Defense into EQ being a combination of play he would do. And I would use a healthy Iron Threat still as a soft swapping into Crocodile, because I am defensive. I don't have anymore the ability to raise my defense with the item Booster Energy, because we burned it out earlier, but... Let's see. Heavy Slam. Okay. He was Heavy Slam with this. Would he be SPDF with this guy? Is the question. Hopefully it's not SPDF, because if it's SPDF, we are doing nothing to it. But I need to damage this, like my entire team relies on this thing being gone, so I have to click Shadow Ball here. Or he didn't actually have anything to hit Iron Threats, that could be a thing. I do burn my Casta Berry, which is not what I want it to be used on. And now he does withdraw. Mephisto. Which is the Crocodile, okay. So this is not really going as I would have liked to, because I missed the first time. I do get this SPDF drop though. And it's leftovers. So I know this is like bulky variant based on the damage before, so does -1 energy ball pick this thing off? Not yet, if it's max SPDF. If it's max HP... If it's max HP, I kill it here. I feel like I need to just damage this. And hope that this kills. We go for the energy bar, don't be fully SPDF. Cool, we do kill it. Okay, that's really good. I got at least bailed out with the SPDF drop, which was 20% chance. But I did burn out some of my key items. Which does mean that now my Deoxys defense is way more important to have a chance to get a hit off versus the Venus, so otherwise I'm a little bit tough spot. This does put him also in a tough spot as well, cause if he doesn't have a Choice Scarf or Photosynthesis Speed like item on the guy, yeah, he has to go to Torkoal here to set up the sun in order to outpace me. And like any kind of damage on this Torkoal is good, so I'm not gonna hesitate with this play. I'm gonna click Sludge Bomb right away. Because if I damage this enough to the point that he cannot swap in free anymore, it means that he doesn't have... Yeah, this is the only time he gets Sun anymore. He does probably have obviously the Heat Rock on it, so he will get extended turns out of this. But not more than that. And now the way I can make it very annoying for him, I could go into Deoxys defense now. Because it means that if he has to make a play going to an Earthworm instead... Yeah, I like that play actually. More that I think about it, the better it is for me. I go into you now. Because it means that if Walking Wake or Venusaur comes in, I already have my check into the field. If he has to go into Earthworm, I'm burning his turn of Sun. And this thing is basically dead. But for now, do I click Knockoff? Or Psychic Noise? I think we click Psychic Noise. I don't think he can preserve this. I mean, he can, but then it dies and it doesn't get the Sun up regardless, so... I'll click Psychic Noise. The Earthworm has lost its item already, and if it swaps in here, then... It doesn't have anything else to do. Okay, that Addison is saying that you got this. Thank you, Addison. I hope I do, even after the Hackers did not get to do anything. But things have gone a little bit more my way after that whole shenanigans in turn 2 exchange. As Gengar, even a little bit misused with the item and whatnot, he managed to do his thing. But it's not been a clean game, but I guess for week 1, that was to be expected. I feel like, in a way, I don't feel like I made too... Like, me swapping into Earthworm, or my Gengar on the Earthworm, I guess I could have just, you know, let the Iron Threads just handle it, because right now it doesn't really do much else. Okay, he does go into Walking Wake. So, what kind of boost do you get? Special attack is high-end. So I'm gonna click Mirror Coat on this, right? Yeah. I will click Mirror Coat. I wanted to keep this thing healthier for Venusaur, but at the same time I know the Sun turns are limited at the moment. He goes for Substitute. Oh. I don't like that. Okay. But he has to attack me though, right? He cannot keep supping. And he raised his special attack, so I'll click it again to break this up. Agility. Sub agility with special attack raise. Okay, I should just... Do I break it sub with normal attack, or do I just keep clicking this? It is a sub agility set. Psychic noise would not kill it. This up, that is. So I think for now I'm still better off just clicking this. Yeah, because now he has to attack me. And I'll break this up. And we took it just fine, thankfully. And we are burning out the turns at least. Now I'll go for Psychic Noise. So Psychic Noise into knockoff. We'll break this up. He cannot really click the attacking move too freely, cause Mirror Coat would kill it. But it's a scary proposition that he put me in. But I guess while the sun is up, like, my Norwegian should be able to revenge it, and then once I Terra I should be okay, I think. He does go for the substitute. Oh, it goes through this sub, because it's a sun move. That's fantastic. Oh, that's a fantastic. I learn more as I play the game again. Like, this is how rusty I am. But that's actually really good then, cause then now... Yeah, this is fine. I can live with this. All part of design, of course. Like, I am just acting that I didn't know these things happen like this, right? You believe me, right? Let's go. Okay, the Axis defense got its job done. It's funny that he dies as the substitute. Goes along with it. Good thing I had this move over any other move. Great friend, the Venusaur. Yeah, let's check the status a little bit. Harsh Sunlight for one more turn. That's pretty sick, I'd say. Okay, the Walkie Wake is gone at least. Now I'll just click Psychic Noise, and if it's physical, it definitely kills me. If it's special, we'll see. Probably has to be Life Orb to do that, and if it's Life Orb, I'm at least forcing it to take damage. But, well, I'm not forcing it. He's forcing himself by running the item, of course. And we freaking live. I could have clicked Mirror Coat there, but I didn't want any funny shenanigans anymore, because I just needed that. That's what I needed. Just damage, and the sun is gone. There's no point of preserving this. I'll just let you have it. Sludge Bomb. And it's Life Orb, yeah. Can I see its health? No, I cannot. So max speed Timid should not outpace my Iron Threats if I would choose to go to that guy now. I could go into Noivern, click Boom Burst, which is kind of fine. What is the hardest thing for you to handle right now? If I go into you and click Boom Burst, how much is the Earthworm taking? I think Noivern is fine here. And we frisk its Life Orb. I could also click Flamethrower here, but we'll Terralize at least. I'll just Boom Burst. I think it's fine. I don't think he's preserving it at this range. I say that immediately swaps. He could go into Slowking. So I guess I get engaged at how special defensive are you? At least it's not Boots. As we Terralize, I should be holding the control because it starts vibrating when all this happens. And now we got a nice hat. Look at that. We are almost matching, I think. We both have our fancy hats on right now. This is why I wear the hat, by the way. That did a lot less as I would have liked. And it's Black Sludge. Okay. I do have iron threats to go into. So I'll just do that. He may predict and click like fire move or whatnot, but I should live the hit. As a hunch, I guess. Future sight. I should remember that. But while I'm in, I guess threats just needs to be in the field for this to work. And now I will click knockoff. I'm not letting that earthworm to gain health. And if he stays in, I eliminate the black slots and I do decent damage as well. Now I do regret not to be physical with the Iron Valiant. But depending on the situation, I could always Destiny Bond this Slow King. But we'll see. I wonder what he does here. Like, I feel like the Earthworm would have to be the play, but I already eliminated its way. Well, he didn't have healing move to begin, or healing item to begin with. Yeah, there comes the Cloud Watcher. As I do some chip to it. Yeah. I'll just body press this time. He might be Terra Fairy, which is why he doesn't want to Terra. But I'll click body press because he hasn't at least done it yet. So once he does, at least then I see what it is. And if he loses his Steel typing, he becomes more vulnerable to Noivern's Draco. Or Valiant's like Fairy move. Thankfully, I guess in a way, if this, since this is Iron Defense, in a way I'm glad that I'm not physical with Iron Valiant. So it's kind of like a mixed bag in a way. For the cloaking, I wish now knowing what it is. I wish I was the... Okay, Heavy Slammer. Does he not have a move to hit me? I guess not. Wait, does Iron Threats win here? Is that what I'm understanding? Iron Threats! Are you sweeping, my guy? I didn't design you to be that way. I thought you were gonna be supported by other fellows to do here, but Iron Threats was kinda like, you know what? The Haxorus, he's a blind fuck. Gengar, it's kinda burned its item already, he's kinda useless. Valiant, you cannot do jack shit to that cloaking. I am the guy. I'm the man. Man of the hour. Okay. It's actually Iron Threat Sweep. This is so funny because I literally decided to be full on support, but here he is. Let's go Iron Threats. Bam! That's a Venusaur gone. Oh my god. It's actually happening. It's happening. We are gonna have a nice long drink for eventual victory. My first win in Generation 9 Wi-Fi. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. I'm quite washed. Probably you can tell. But I also kind of want to be a little bit relaxed on this. Can we kill this guy? We don't have attack investment. No! It has Earthquake. Oh, we live that. We eat this. We eat this! Let's go, Threads. Oh my god. Addison and whoever is gonna... Well, Addison particularly is in this league who helped me. So she's gonna look at this submitting the results and be like, Threads got 3 kills? That's not what you decide this team for. What happened? And I'm like, yeah, it just happened. Iron Thread said, I'm the guy. I'm the man of the hour. But great game to Necrostevo. Make sure to check him out, of course. He was... Let's just put it in a way that he had a very difficult week because he got COVID early on in this week and we had a pretty big time zone difference. So I wasn't too sure if he was able to make in time or get this battle done within the normal week of period time that we have for week 1. And if he had to ask for extension, I would have been like, of course, you need to take care of yourself first. But he managed... I don't know if he's fully healthy yet. I'll probably ask him after this. But as of right now, I don't know if he fully recovered. So at very least, make sure to go check him out. Wish him hopefully that he has been recovered and all. That's pretty much week 1. I'm excited to be back. I'm happy that it went pretty well in the end. Even though it wasn't like by design textbook how I had like things played out. But sometimes you gotta have to kind of wing it on the moment and see what Pokemon ends up actually be the winning condition. And today, it was Iron Threats at the end, even though it wasn't supposed to be, but That's how the cookie crumbled today. Thank you all for watching. Next week we go up against Daya, I think. And I haven't played her Wi-Fi yet. I have played her once on her own Showdown League that I end up winning, which was pretty sweet. That's like the one of the rare Showdown Leagues that I have done this generation, like full on to the beginning to the end, and I managed to like keep myself composed to do it. So we are playing Daira. Hopefully I pronounce their name properly. If I'm not, I'm really sorry. But her YouTube channel will be down below in the description. Just like all the coaches in the league, make sure to check him out. There are a lot of great coaches, including my opponent this week, like Necrostevo, who probably has deeper voicing than I do. So that should tell you something. So that's at least one more reason to check him out. But regardless, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys later.